Greetings. Today, the moon continues in Capricorn. So we get to focus on foundations, planning, making a plan, figuring out how we are going to do our next steps. And yesterday, I talked about the need to make a decision or commit to something. So today, let's take a look at how we implement and put that into motion, into practice. I am Marina Orms here with your Astro vibe for Tuesday, September 30th. So, Capricorn Moon today, all day. And that uh, Capricorn loves systems, right? So, getting organized, figuring out how you are going to execute on something. So, what does implementation look? It is a great day to do some planning, get out your calendar, your planner, right? And think about, okay, what when we talked yesterday about that ripe, juicy fruit that is calling you forward, that is asking you to commit and go ahead and reach for that fruit and say, yes, I'm going to pick this and go with it. And so once you think about what that is and give yourself some time today if you haven't had a chance to really deepen into what feels right, what feels like it's calling you, but maybe do a little journaling. What is in my life speaking to me and wanting my attention? And again, when you write this out or think it through, you want to be looking for what brings joy into your body, your heart, what makes your heart feel alive, what makes you want to sing, right? So these are the things you're looking for. So in other words, if something is looking for your attention, but it's not feeding you, perhaps it is one of those things that needs to be left behind as you embark on this journey. And we can't leave behind everything that maybe weighs us down, right? So sometimes we have to make priorities, choose priorities, but look at it. Really take that extra moment to look at what might be weighing you down or asking for your time and energy and resources that is not making you feel alive, making you want to sing, making you feel joyful. Because if it's not doing those things, how can you make an adjustment? Right? It's not about getting rid of it completely because, right, we have responsibilities. Capricorn is about responsibility. So don't ignore your responsibilities, but you can take a look at them and say, how could I streamline this? How could I put a little bit less time, energy, and attention on things that are not making my heart sing? How could I put a little bit more time, energy, and attention into things that do make my heart sing? Right? So again, it's not all or nothing. You get to, but you do get to negotiate those boundaries. And Capricorn loves boundaries. It's ruled by Saturn. So define, create that definition of what your time and energy goes to. Make choices on purpose. Have that sense of responsibility to yourself. What about that? Right? Maybe you have responsibilities in your life, but what about your responsibility to yourself, to your life purpose, to your creative energy, your soul's needs? What makes you what is the reason to be here, right? How about your responsibility to that? So, when you are looking at your life, making some plans, thinking about priorities, don't dismiss the importance of what makes you feel alive, what makes you happy. Simple, right? Happy. Think about that. ripe, juicy fruit, right? It's pleasing. It brings in pleasure. It makes us feel happy when we eat delicious, sweet, juicy, ripe fruit. So, what is that in your life? What does it feel like to step into that sense of meaning, of living according to what is calling you or what your soul is needing? So, planning, organizing systems, and focusing on implementation. So once you take that time to get clear, okay, this is what's important to me. Here's what I'm gonna pare down or uh, change how I engage with it, right? Things that might be not serving your greatest good. How can you make some adjustments there? Again, doesn't mean all or nothing. It just means making choices that help you move in this new direction more solidly. So now, once you're clear about what you want, you can then find your action steps, right? So this is the planning part. So write it out, actually write it out. Here is what I want. Here is why. Here are the things that I need to do to make it happen. And when I say action steps or to-do lists, keep in mind that sometimes the action step is attending to your own self-care needs. So getting enough rest, getting your needs met, having the downtime you need sometimes is step one, right? Because when you get that downtime, guess what? You get more clear about what's important to you and your action steps become more evident. So take the downtime if that's what you need, or if you already know, here are my steps. Get going. Put it on the calendar. Figure out how you're going to do it. Remember, you do not have to do it all in one day. This can take time. But what is your first step? What does that look like? What would you like to achieve or accomplish or step into by the end of the next month? Right? We're at the end of September right now. So let's give it a month, right? Or by the end of this moon cycle, right? Make it a reasonable amount of time, make it an achievable goal, but move that needle. Move something in the direction of what makes you feel alive. So, planning, coming up with a system. And again, for you, it may not be a task list or a to-do list. It might be, I'm going to reach out for support, right? It might be, I'm going to talk to my friend and check with them and ask if I'm being realistic. That is an action step. That is a step forward to say something out loud, to get feedback on it. So again, these things that we don't think of as actual investments in our in the results we want, they are investments. Self-care is an investment. Um, Talking to a friend, getting support is an investment. Taking time to learn about something you maybe need to learn a little bit more about is an investment, but keep keep it centered in that why. Why are you doing this? What is the purpose? What is the meaning? What is that fruit calling you forward? And so if you missed yesterday's video, that was where I talked about the ripe fruit. So you might want to go review that for some inspiration and have fun with the planning and the implementing and be creative. Let yourself acknowledge some of the things that might be step one on your action plan that may not look like or feel like you're getting something done, but you actually are. All right, that's my lecture for today. Thank you for being here. I'm Marina Orms. You can book a reading with me at astrologyheals.com. Learn more about your own chart and how these energies and dynamics show up for you. What is your own path of empowerment, your own soul's purpose, and how can you live that journey? that path to feeling like you're doing what you are here to do. All right. Thanks for being here and for subscribing. And I will see you next time with more astrology for unshakable self care. Bye for now.